for allowing myself and my teammate, Robin Velez, the opportunity to bring financial wellness education to Chicago Cred and its participants. I am a financial wellness consultant with PNC, and I have over 20 years of experience with banking where I have assisted individuals improve and achieve their financial goals. So basically, we bring a dedicated team of financial experts to help educate, answer questions, and to finding solutions for reducing financial stresses and burdens. This allows for a peace of mind and assists with achieving one's overall financial goals. So we look forward to providing tools and resources and will make ourselves available to you all. So anything you need regarding banking, financial services, we are your one-stop shop for that. And with that, I want to introduce my colleague, Robin Velez, who will be presenting on budgeting.
Thank you so much, Tyree. And good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. I like to call it Thursday Junior or Friday Junior, which is the day before Friday. And I love that orange tie, Tyree. But it's my pleasure to be with each and every one of you today. Sherry, can you show the presentation piece for me? You start off with my picture. So it's my pleasure to be with each and every one of you guys today. We are going to cover some budgeting in the seminar, and then we're going to talk a little bit today after the seminar about PNC's workplace banking program, all of the tools, all of the resources that are available to you because you are an employee of Chicago Cred. So just a little bit about myself. I've been in banking for 16 years and I've been with PNC for the last 4 years. And I'm going to tell you throughout my journey in banking, I've helped lots of people with their accounts, opening loans as far as personal loans, car loans. I've helped people establish credit. So I am devoted to helping you and getting you on the right path for your financial success. Okay, so I am a banker. I am here for everything. I know right now we're in a pandemic, so it's probably hard to be able to get in touch with your banker. It's probably hard to set an appointment to get inside of the bank, or you're probably calling and no one's answering. So I am your banker on wheels. I know that we're meeting virtually right now, but I can also meet in person. I can meet at the nearest PNC branch that's near you. So I am a banker. I'm here for you. I'm here to make sure that we have everything that you need to be successful with your finances. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into this workshop today about budgeting. So our goal is we're going to explore the importance of creating and maintaining a budget. We're going to examine the differences between your wants and your needs. I'm also going to be using a person named Marta as well. We're going to look at her budgeting. And then we're going to set some goals for spending and saving and debt repayment. Then also, we're going to talk about PNC's workplace banking program, and we're going to talk about the employee account that you get because you are an employee of Chicago Cred. So with further ado, we're going to just go straight into it. So I want you all to know that budgeting is a part of building and maintaining financial strength. So it does not matter what your personal financial situation is. Knowing how to create and use a budget will help you better manage your money and get closer to reaching your financial goals. And that's why I am with you on today. Next slide. All right, so we're going to learn how to use a 5-step plan to create and maintain a budget. We're going to understand the differences of the kinds of expenses, and then we're going to set a spending and savings goal. We're also going to come up with some strategies to improve your savings and manage debt and improve and maintain your financial wealth. So you may not have all of the necessary information that you need right now to build your own budget, but we're going to go over a scenario and it's going to help you learn about how to use and practice a budget. So right now you're seeing some questions. What is a budget? Why do we use a budget? And when can you use a budget? So when you're thinking about what is a budget can be an estimate of your income and expenses for a set period of time and a roadmap or a financial plan. Now, why do we use a budget? Because it can help you understand your spending habits, create a savings plan, and pay off debts. And I know that in the pandemic, we probably was spending a lot of money, maybe online. I know I personally was spending money on Uber Eats. So I'm going to tell you my little personal story of how I had to, try to start cooking instead of ordering out Uber Eats to maintain my goal, because I went to Puerto Rico for Christmas. So I'll talk about that a little later about how I was able to create my savings plan. And then another thing, when can you use a budget? So budgets can be used regularly to help you maintain good financial practices, or they can be used to help you achieve a specific goal. So those are our terms and definitions of how do we use a budget, why do we use a budget, and then when can we use a budget. So a budget helps you see exactly, like I said earlier, what we're spending money on, and it helps you determine how much money you spend on certain things. So that can be how much you're spending on rent, how much you spend on utilities, how much you spend on clothes. It just gives you a breakdown of all of your spending. So can we go to the next slide, Sherry? All right. So creating and using a budget or a financial plan can also be helpful in identifying ways to improve your financial situation. So it should make you more aware of your financial habits. And it also may help you find ways to decrease some of that debt and save for the future. So there's 5 basic steps, everyone, to maintaining and building a budget. So the first step is getting organized. Do some of you know where your important financial documents are, such as your tax returns? We're in tax season, our W-2s, our bills, and our loan documents. And do you have a system to where you keep these documents organized so that they're easily find when you need them? That's step one, getting organized. Step two, listing income. Think about it. Do you know how much you make each month after taxes? Your income may come from sources such as wages, tips, public assistance, child support, alimony, or social security. And then step three, listing those expenses. Do you know how much money you spend each month? Do you spend most of your money on necessities, as I mentioned, such as rent, maybe car payments, childcare, insurance, groceries? Those are your expenses. Step four, list savings. How much money is set aside each month for savings? Do you have any money left over after all your expenses each month? Do you have any savings accounts or any methods of savings? I'm going to also go over savings as well later on when we talk about that employee account that you guys are going to be getting. And then the last step, which is step 5, list your debt. Do you know or do you have any loans? Do you have mortgages or credit card debt? And then do you know how much debt do you owe? So those are going to be the 5 steps in creating your budget. So now we're going to look at an example to how we're going to prepare into making a budget. All right, so here we have Marta. I told you earlier we're going to talk about Marta. Marta is a 40-year-old woman who works 2 jobs, one at a grocery store and then another at a restaurant. Marta also feels overwhelmed because she has a large debt. And I know some of us probably have large debt. We have student loans, we might have mortgages already, we might have car payments. So she has debt as well. She's paid her bills late in the past, and one reason for her paying her bills late is because she's not organized. So we're going to see how a five-step plan can help her better understand her options, her behaviors, and her solutions. Next slide, please. All right. So we're going to say that Marta has collected all of her paperwork, which is related to her monthly income and expenses, so that all of her financial documents would be in one place. She decided that she's going to use a file folder and a box dedicated to this purpose. She found some new recent months of pay stubs. She found bills and receipts, and then she printed out all of her credit card statements and her bank statements from her online banking. So now we're going to look at Marta's income. We're going to look at, all of her documents that she gathered. Next slide. All right. So here we have Martha's financial documents, and this is exactly what she's going to need to make a budget. So first we have loan statements. All right. Then I'm going to skip down to receipts because remember, we're thinking about what her financial documents would be on a monthly basis. So we know that we need loan documents. We know that we probably going to need receipts. Then we also have bills. We have credit card statements. We have bank statements, as you can see, pay stubs, and social benefit receipts. So Marta needs her credit card, her statements, her bills, her loan statements, and her receipts to show her debt and expenses. And then she also needs her pay stubs, her bank statements, and any social benefit receipts to fully show her income. So once Marta has organized all of her financial paperwork in a separate and labeled folder, she's already completed her first step, which is getting organized into making her budget plan. Next slide, please. All right, so here we have it. We see Martha's income. Let's just say Martha gets paid twice a month. So she gets paid biweekly. She gets paid biweekly $1,000. So her income is going to be $2,000 for the month. Okay. So once we see that she's getting $2,000 for the month, she breaks down her budget. As you can see, her total expenses, which is her needs and her wants. We're also going to talk about what disposable income needs as well. But in the columns that you see, she has her needs, which is her rent, her groceries, her utilities, her car payment, and her car insurance. Then over in the middle, you're going to see what her wants are. So her wants is getting Starbucks coffee. She likes to spend $50 on restaurants, $40 on entertainment. She likes to buy clothes. So this is what she's spending on a monthly basis. And then all the way over to the right, you're going to see her debt, and it breaks down her credit card. This is what she's paying, $200 in credit card. She also has student loans, which is $100, which totals up to, as you can see, $300. So we already know that she did the first step, which was, breaking down her expenses. Now we're going to do step two. It's list income. So as I mentioned earlier, she gets paid every 2 weeks and she has no other forms of income. So her strategy for tracking her income was to add up her pay stubs and determine her monthly income and list in the income column. So as you can see, she has that all set up there. All right. Then number three, step three, the listing expenses. When you think about expenses, expenses refers to the amount of money spent each month on bills and other items. So it's helpful to start thinking of your expenses in two categories, your needs and your wants. When you think about needs, those are things that are necessary for your health and your well-being. So that's electricity, transportation, In Marta's situation, rent, groceries, utilities, those are what we consider needs. And then we have the wants. Wants are things that you can actually live without. So Marta could actually live without coffee. Maybe not. I can't live without coffee, guys. I have at least 2 cups, but I've scaled back and started doing 1 cup. But that's just a want. So wants are, things that you can't live without, or that you can live without, I should say, such as restaurants, that the city is opening up, the state is opening up now. They're, expanding the capacity inside the restaurants, beauty products, lottery tickets. Some of us love getting those lottery tickets. So sometimes a want can also turn into a need. So you might want a new coat, but then you probably need a new coat. So if in event you grow out of the coat, you might need a new coat, right? So Marty came up with a strategy for determining her expenses, which is her needs. She used her receipts and her bills and her credit card statements to determine how much she spent each month on her needs, and she listed them in the appropriate spaces. And also, everyone, this is something that you can do at home. You could, pull out a piece of paper, figure out what your monthly income is, start writing down your needs, start writing down, what your wants, and then, start writing down the debt that you have. So I mentioned earlier about disposable income, and as you can see, Marta has her income subtracting her needs, right? So disposable income is the amount of income that's left over after paying expenses, which is her needs. Disposable income is money available to also spend on your wants. So putting that extra money into a savings account or paying down that debt, that is something that you can do with the disposable income. It is possible for the amount of disposable income to be zero, or it could be negative. So when you start creating and using a budget, you can also find ways to make that disposable income positive instead of being a negative number. We never want to be negative. All right. So that's our take on disposable income. Then we have step 4. Remember, step 4 is listing savings. And I'm going to definitely talk about savings later on. But savings refers to is money that is put aside for safekeeping, a specific savings purpose, or an emergency fund. So depositing money into an interest earning savings account at a financial institution is just one way to increase savings even further. So after paying her bills, which is her needs, and spending money on extras like her wants, Marta has disposable income left over. All right. Now, that last step, everybody, remember the last step is listing your debt. So debt is any amount of money owed to a person or institution. So examples of debt includes, as I mentioned earlier, car loans, credit card balances, and money borrowed from money or relatives. So after Marta has paid her monthly debts, she has disposable income left over. So when you guys think about the disposable income that you have left over, and you can take yourselves off mute, what would you do with that disposable income? You've paid your needs, you got your wants, then you've taken care of your debts. So think of some other things that you can do with that money that's left over. Anybody can answer this. You can take yourselves off mute. Anybody has any type of answer that you could think about when you have extra money left over? What do you do with it?
They can't respond.
Oh, okay.
Webinar, but they can.
Someone raised their hand. I see it. Okay, so I will just say this, guys. Anything that's left over after your needs are met, your wants are met, you've paid your debt, just put the money in a savings account. Or if you want to, you can put the extra money toward that credit card debt, or, pay extra on your student loans. So that's something that you can do with disposable income. I would just throw it into a savings account and just let it go from there. All right. So one thing that I will say is that, creating this budget plan will definitely help you see exactly where you could be saving extra money, as long as you're making sure that you're paying for your needs, and your wants, because I know sometimes the want is more important as well, and then your debt. So this is just a reference for you guys to see, how you can actually break down your budgeting. All right. So, one budget recommendation is to try to spend no more than 50% of after tax income dollars on needs. So, we're going to switch over. Can we go to slide 10 for me, Sherry? We're going to talk about the 50, the 30, and the 20 rule. All right, there we go. So as you guys can see, this is just something to like really think about, when you're spending the money, and then how much you could actually spend the money. I also see a question, so I'm going to answer that in a few minutes. So as you can see in blue, for the 50% rule, you do not want to spend, or try not to spend, no more than 50% of your after tax income dollars on your needs. And then in black, you see no more than 30% on your wants, and in gray, no more than 20% on your debt repayment. So that's our 50, 30, and 20 rule. I see someone has invest. Absolutely. With the extra disposable income that you have, you can absolutely invest. Great, great, great answer for that. So that is our 50, 30, and our 20 rule. So then we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Here, this is really simple, everyone. Gross net income, what's the difference? We know that with our gross income, it is the amount of money that you earn before anything is taken out for taxes, right? That's always what we want, right? That bigger number once we see our check stubs and we see, oh, I made this much. But then we have our net income, and that's the difference. So that net income is the amount of money you earn after all of your taxes are taken out of your pay. So the 50, 30, and 20 rule may identify some areas where you should be able to reduce some of your spending, but it can also help you find additional money in your budget to put towards savings and debt repayment goals. And someone mentioned earlier, investing. So another thing that is also good, aside from the 50, 30, 20 rule, is the categories method. Can we slide on over to slide 10, Sherry? We're talking about the categories method. So the categories method is just another tool that we can use to monitor our financial situation. So here we have the breakdown in the percentages of each category. Now, this method is a more detailed breakdown of percentages and categories and how it allocates income according to detailed needs of a person or a household. So I want you all to begin by thinking about these specific categories that you spend money on each month. You can predict how much of your income will be left over for savings, and then making adjustments to meet your goals. So here's just an example: 30% for housing, 10% for utilities and other housing expenditures like renter's insurance, 10% for groceries, 10% for transportation, and that's also including car loan. We also have 10% for debt repayment, that can be student loans and other credit cards, 10% for savings. Then we got the smaller percentages, 5% for dining out, like me. I started cooking, 5% for car insurance and miscellaneous auto expenses, 5% for clothing. I have a big deal when it comes to Fashion Nova. They're always sending me little percentages off. I can't stand it, but I love it at the same time. And then we have 5% for entertainment. So this summer, you know, the state is opening. We have so many festivals that are going to be opening up, you know, different things that's going on in around the city. So make sure you're at 5% when it comes to entertainment. All right. I think I have another question down here. Nope, I don't. Okay. All right, setting goals. This is so important, everybody. That is an important part of any budget is your own personal financial goals. We have short-term goals. Think about it. Short-term goals can be accomplished in a few months or up to 2 years. I'm going to tell you my short-term goal. I'm going to Jamaica this summer in June. It's going to be an all-girls trip. I'm super excited. It's going to be my first time going to Jamaica, but I have my short-term goals. So every time I'm getting paid, I am putting some money aside for my trip. So those are what you consider something short term. Then you have your medium term goals, which can be accomplished in 2 to 5 years. And then you have those long term goals, which can be accomplished in more than 5 years. So as I mentioned earlier, as your banker, I can help you, you know, sit down and talk about those goals that you have. If you have medium term goals, you might be thinking about a house right now. You know, the rates are very low. You might be thinking about a car loan. You might have a long term goal, you know, so we can definitely sit and talk about those goals. All right, next slide. All right, keep going. Next slide after that for me, Sherry. All right, so maintain a financial strength and health. Have daily and weekly and monthly check-ins with your banker, such as me. Okay, meet with a financial institution representative, such as myself, and discuss your finances with a financial planner. I am also able to do that as well for you all. Next slide. Okay, so this is what I want you all to do because we are getting ready to go straight into our workplace banking program where we're going to be able to really dive deep. But before I let we go into that, there are lots of strategies for budgeting. So the most important thing is that you use one to manage your spending, your savings, and your debt repayment. When approaching your debt repayment, consider strategies. As I mentioned earlier, the 50-30-20 rule. Um, Consider those strategies when you're thinking about your budgeting plan, and then speak to someone you trust, like a family or a friend or a financial institution, a representative for additional support. If you take the time to set financial goals that are meaningful to you, then the small sacrifice of skipping coffee on the way to work or that may become easier. But with stronger motivations, you will save money, not just because your budget indicates that you should, but because you have a specific goal in mind and something you really want. So, most of your goals will be personal to your lifestyle and preferences, but we recommend including a couple of important goals. Definitely create an emergency fund, pay down a debt if you have it. So, these things, such as maybe car repairs, medical bills, these are just ways that you can just come up with an emergency plan in your budgeting. And therefore, it's always wise to have extra savings set aside specifically for emergencies. All right. Next slide, Sherry. All right. And can you do one more slide after that? Okay. So, what I want everyone to do is now take out your cell phones. Sherry, can we go to the slide with my information because I want everyone to get my email information. So if we can go, yeah, all the way back up. All right. Yep, right there. So this is what I want everyone to do before we start going to the workplace banking program. In a few minutes, I'm going to be sending everyone a link once you email me. And this is going to be a one-time email so that I can walk you all through on how to open up your employee accounts. So what I want everyone to do is if you want to, or if you can, go ahead and screenshot my information or just go ahead and email me. And what you're going to do is you're going to email me your name, your phone number, and your zip code. Because later on, I'm going to send everyone a link to open up their employee account, and I'll be able to walk everyone through it. So I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead, get that name, get that email address, get my phone number, so then you can have it for yourself. So I'm just going to give a couple of seconds, and you can screenshot that. And if you guys want to talk one-on-one after the seminar, I'm definitely available to talk about it. But right now, what I do want to discuss is PNC's workplace banking program. Now, as you all know, that Chicago Cred and PNC, we have a partnership. And with that partnership, it's where you will be able to get so many special perks and benefits for being a part of Workplace. Now, you know, with Workplace, you do get a personal banker, which is me, myself, where I'm able to cater to you instead of you having to go in the bank. You all are working. You probably don't have time to go inside the branches. You probably don't have time to call, but I will answer my phone and I do answer emails. So I am definitely available for you. Also, you get an employee account. So if you already have a bank account, that is absolutely fine. Definitely keep your bank account. But I want you all to take advantage of the employee account that you get because you are an employee of Chicago Cred. Now, this employee account is not available to the general public. So you can't go to Chase, you can't go to Bank of America and say, hey, I want the employee account, the virtual wallet. It's only owned by PNC, and it's only for you because you are an employee of Chicago Cred. I'm going to also go over the differences between the employee account and the account that you already have. So first, let's dive in deep into the workplace banking program. We're going to easily help you manage your day-to-day finances as we talked about in budgeting. I can help you create that budget plan. Can you go one step back, Sherry? I think you kind of went, can we go back? Right there, right. Then we're going to connect you to a variety of PNC products and services. So we are going to connect you to the employee account. And then also we're going to talk about, you know, the products and services such as credit cards, such as mortgages. We also have a refer coworker program. We're also going to find the opportunity for you to earn rewards for certain banking products. And then I'm going to help you achieve your long-term financial goals. So what I want to do now is talk about the employee account. Next slide, please, Sherry. So with this employee account, it's 3 accounts working together as one main account, okay? So what does that look like? With the show of hands, how many of us have that budgeting tool with our internet company? We have a bundle. So how many of us have Xfinity where we have internet, cable, and cell phone? That's the bundle, right? So when we think about the employee account, the virtual wallet, that's exactly what it is. It's a bundle. It's 3 accounts working together as one main account. So the first account we have is the spend account. The second account we have is the reserve account. And then the third account is the growth account. And I'm going to go over how I usually use my accounts, and then you can just determine how you want to use your employee accounts, okay? This is also the employee accounts that I have at PNC and all of my coworkers at PNC have. So you get a chance to be able to manage your money through your employee account. I know you see here, we have the spending and budgeting tool. We also have a breakdown of everything when it comes to your virtual wallet. Next slide, Sherry. All right. Okay, Sherry. So the first thing I want to talk about is the banking products that you get. So as you see the first one, you may earn a cash reward for opening up your virtual wallet. So Sherry, if you can we go to that flyer so I can explain the virtual wallet? It's the flyer that I sent to you. All right, guys. So we know that the virtual wallet is 3 accounts working together as one. I will say this. The spend account is going to be your main checking account. That's going to be where your direct deposit from Chicago Cred is going to flow into, okay? It's going to flow into that spend account. Then you have your reserve account. That reserve account is a second checking account, and the reserve and the spend account, those two accounts work together so you can transfer money back and forth. Now, I will say this. I usually use my reserve account to pay ComEd every month, to pay people's gas. I also pay rent out of the reserve account, and I Zelle out of that account. And the reason why I do it, because I like to separate my money every month. For my spend account, I want to be able to get Dunkin' Donuts. I want to be able to buy Fashion Nova. I want to be able to get beauty supply products. So I want to be able to spend whatever I need to with that spend account. But also that reserve account is going to be for me to pay my bills, because I like to pay my bills on time every month. So it's just me separating my money. But you can use that reserve account for whatever you want to use it for. Most of the time, I do see people use that reserve account as their overdraft protection, okay? But you can use it for whatever you want it to be used for, all right? Then the third account that you get is called a growth account. Now, it's just not a growth account. Yeah, we're growing our money, but the growth account is a premier money market account. And the difference between a premier money market account and our standard savings account is your interest rate, right? So what does that mean? That means that when you go into a bank and you say, hey, I want to open up a savings account, they're going to say, great, got to have $300 in your savings account every month. And then on top of that, you're going to be earning cents on your money. But because the growth account is part of your employee account, you can have whatever you want to in that account. You can have $25 all year long in your growth account. The good thing about it is that you're going to be saving and earning dollars on your money instead of cents. So, any bank, a premier money market, you got to have $5,000. But with this virtual wallet, with your employee account, you don't have to have anything. In fact, you don't have to have anything in any of these accounts. The only thing that you need to have is that direct deposit flowing through. All right. So, what does that look like? Let's say today's Thursday, I'm getting paid $500, take all my money out because I have stuff to do. That is absolutely fine. You're not getting penalized for not having anything into that account. You get paid next week or 2 weeks from that, $500, you take everything out. That is absolutely fine. Remember, everyone, this is an employee account. So you don't have to have anything in that account. If you want to Zelle yourself from this bank to that bank, that is absolutely fine. Okay. We also have different tools and resources with this account as well. We have online banking. You know, I pay all my bills online. We have Deposit Easy, where you could just deposit a check right through your phone on your mobile app. We have Zelle, because most of the time Zelle is very popular. You know, Zelle is the money that goes right in. So you can Zelle yourself between different banks or between other people. All right. Another thing that I like to talk about is the debit card. With the debit card, every time you use your PNC debit card at certain merchants, you're going to be getting some money back. That's called our PNC purchase payback. Every time you use your debit card at Dunkin', you're going to get some money back. Every time you use it at, let's just say, Just Tires, if you need tires, you're going to be getting money back. So you do get paid extra money back just for using your debit card. All right. So, just a quick recap. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but stay with me here, everyone. The virtual wallet is an employee account. It's 3 accounts working together as one account. And I'm going to ask a question, and hopefully someone will put in the chat. How much do you have to have into your account at all times? And hopefully I'll get some type of answer here. All right, well, I'm going to just answer it. You don't have to have any money into this account at all times, everybody. That's what separates this employee account from other accounts you might have. The only thing that we require is a direct deposit. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this story because we did talk about budgeting earlier. As I mentioned earlier, I had a trip to Puerto Rico in December. I went to see family this past December for Christmas. Now, we started the pandemic, I want to say in March. So I started working from home between April up until October. Then in October, I was able to come out. But I wanted to start saving some money for my trip. So I actually had to see how much I was spending or how much disposable income that I had left over. Now, you all get budgeting tools inside of your employee account. You get a calendar, you get a money bar. Those are the tools that track down your spending. Okay, so it tracks down how much you spend on groceries every month, how much you spend in bills every month. I was able to see that I spent so much money on Uber Eats. Has anybody ever ordered out with Uber Eats? I'm going to tell you, you know Uber Eats will tax the heck out of you, right? So let's say I was spending, I want to say $50. And guys, I just remember one time I was spending $20 and all I was getting was 6 wings. I'm like, $25 for 6 wings, right? So when I think about it, I'm like, okay, 6 wings is costing me this much. You know, you got to tip the driver. Then there's a delivery fee. Then there's a special delivery fee. Then there's a COVID fee. So it all added up to $25. And I'm ordering Uber Eats twice a month. That's $50 of disposable income that I could be putting into my growth savings account. So once I saw that, I had to start cooking. And I keep saying it because I don't like to cook. It takes too long. But without having those budgeting tools inside of my employee account, I would have never been able to see that. How many times have we got paid on a Friday and Monday? We're like, whoa, where did our money go? I just got paid. I hear that all the time. But if you have budgeting tools, it's definitely there to help you maintain and help you to save your money. All right. So let's talk about these two offers that you see on the screen. All right. You're going to see in gray, earn $200. Over on the right, the left side, you're going to see earn $300. So I'm going to just go deep into this, everybody. Now, we already know that the virtual wallet is 3 accounts, right? Yes. And we already know that you don't have to have anything in that account because you need access to your money, right? So there is one thing that we require, and that is your direct deposit. And that's why you get some cash. So you open up a virtual wallet with Performance Spend with me in a few minutes after the seminar. We're going to go over the employee account and we're going to open it up. But the only thing that you need to do is have $1,000 flowing into the account. So that's real easy, everybody. You open up that account today, you get your account and your routing number in a few minutes. Screenshot that, give it to Sherry. We're going to set that direct deposit up. You have 60 days. So we're looking at, if we do it today, we're looking at June that you're going to see the $200 reward. And that's our way of saying, welcome to PNC. All right. Now, over into the orange, you're going to see earn $300. Now, that is an upgrade account. So that means that you might have multiple sources of income. We talked about that earlier. You might have child support. You might have alimony. You might work full-time for Cook County, and you might work for Chicago Cred. If you have multiple sources of income and it adds up to $5,000 for the month, then you can definitely select this account. It's called the Performance Select account. So the Performance Select account says that you have multiple direct deposits. Even if you have a significant other and you have a joint account and their direct deposit and your direct deposit adds up to $5,000 for the month, you can definitely choose this account. Now, I know that $300 sounds good, but if you don't have $5,000 in direct deposits, don't worry about it. The most popular account that everyone usually gets is the one in gray, and that's our Performance Spend. You will see this once we open that application, okay? Now, a couple things to say. We can always upgrade and we can always downgrade. It's all a matter of saying, hey, Robin, looks like my hour's been cut short. I'm not getting $1,000 in direct deposits. I'm going to say, well, then, hey, let's just downgrade you to the standard virtual wallet. The standard virtual wallet, you only need $500 in direct deposits for the month. And I see you, Eileen. I see that hand raised. Okay, that's it. Only $500. Let's say a year from now, because I'm your banker, you're keeping in contact with me and we're talking about and we're setting plans. Robin, it looks like I have extra income in direct deposits. I want to upgrade. You can definitely upgrade. It's all about contacting me and letting me know. You should be able to contact your banker and say, hey, this is what's going on, or hey, this is what's not going on. You should still be able to contact your banker for anything. And that's why I am talking to you today. Two extra things before we end. I want to talk about the ATMs, right? And the reason why is because sometimes we're out and about around the city and the suburbs and we just can't get to a PNC ATM. So we're in Chicago. We have a PNC account. You're traveling to Naperville. You don't see a PNC ATM, but you see a Bank of America ATM. Do you know that anytime you use an ATM that's not in your network, you get charged 2 fees? Most people didn't know that. You get charged a fee from your bank and your ATM, that ATM charges you a fee. But because this is an employee account, we reimburse you your ATM fees. So we're taking care of our fee and then we're going to take care of that ATM fee. So you don't never have to worry about getting penalized anytime you need to use an ATM that's not in your network. Another thing, you're already out and about. You're in Naperville. You don't see a PNC ATM, so you're just going to go ahead and get that money out. You want to take out $13, but you usually know that $20 spits out in every ATM, right? So what's the chances that you're going to put that extra money back in your pocket or your purse? You're going to keep it moving, right? You're not going to put that money back into the ATM. You're going to just keep it moving. So, and all of our PNC ATMs, we dispense single dollar bills, $10 bills, and $20 bills. So if you need to take out 20 singles, you can take out 20 singles. If you need to take out 50 singles, you can take out 50 singles. So we also make sure that we're taking care of you. If you're out and about and you need to use an ATM, we're going to reimburse you those ATM fees 4 times a month. And we're going to make sure you're going to be able to get out exact change that you need. All right. All right, Sherry, can we go back to that slide? So we already know about the offers that you get once you open your account. You know, PNC is huge. We're expanding globally and nationally. So we have a couple more things that you get inside this workplace banking program because you are an employee. We're also going to talk about credit cards. So if you're in the market of maybe wanting to establish some credit, if you already have credit cards and you want to maybe reduce some of your credit card debt, we do have something where we can take care of that as well. All right, a balance transfer. So if you open up any of our PNC credit cards, it's 3 of them. I can definitely talk about that one-on-one. But if you open up any of our PNC credit cards, you're going to get $100. And that is our way of saying, welcome to PNC. Over, you see that little house, $300. As I mentioned earlier, the market is on and booming, everybody. You know, this is going to be one of my long-term goals as well, establishing and purchasing a house. So if you're in a market of purchasing a home, I do have a mortgage partner named Kyle that's ready to get started with you. You open up a PNC mortgage and get those payments coming out of your virtual wallet. We're going to give you a $300 reward, and that's our way of saying welcome to PNC and thank you for purchasing your home. And then as you see all the way over, those 3 people, those are your coworkers, even though I know it's more than 3. But anytime you refer any of your coworkers to PNC and they get a virtual wallet employee account, we're putting $100 in your pockets, everybody. Okay, that's our way of saying thank you for your loyalty and thank you for being a part of PNC. Next slide, Sherry. All right, everyone. So now we've covered budgeting. We know about those tools. We covered the workplace banking program. We've covered the employee account that's only for you because you are an employee of Chicago Cred. Now it's time for you all to email me. I've already started getting emails. So what I want you to do, if you have not, take out those cell phones. I know it's right by you. Take them out. What I want you to do is email me. And what you're going to email me is your name, your last name. I already know that the company name is Chicago Cred. So email me your name, your zip code, and your phone number. Can we go to that last slide, Sherry, so I can make sure everyone has my email information? All right, there we go. Robin Velez. You're going to email me your name, your phone number, and your zip code. Now, once you send me the email, everyone, I'm going to email you the link, and then we're going to walk through on how to open up your employee account. All right. So this email is going to be a one-time email. It's going to be a one-time email, and it's only going to be for the purpose of you opening your employee account, and that's it. So PNC is not going to retain your information for anything else other than opening up that employee account. All right. And you can keep my information up there, Sherry. Ali, I saw your hand raised. Did you have anything for me, Ali? Okay, maybe he didn't. I saw it earlier.
No, I was raising my hand for Sherry. I was kicked out.
Oh, well then, Ali, you definitely need to be sending me your email.
I do have some questions for you if you open.
Okay. Yes.
The big question that everybody wants to know.
Yes, shoot them.
Crypto. How does that look with savings and investing? What do we like? What should people be looking for? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? A lot of.
So what do you mean by
crypto?
What's the question again?
Cryptocurrency, is it a good idea to invest?
Cryptocurrency. I have not heard of cryptocurrency. I have not, but I do have investors.
Bitcoin, maybe you heard of Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, yes. So I will say this. I do have investment partners that could possibly answer it because I am an out-of-branch banker. I don't talk about investments, but if you're looking to invest, I definitely have a partner that can talk about that.
Okay.
So definitely everybody, if you have questions about investing, shoot me that email so then I can point you into the right direction of investing.
When I was also going to say, can a savings account earn what kind of money monthly or yearly would a savings account earn?
So for the savings account, you're going to be earning dollars. I want to say yearly. So what I can do is if you choose the virtual wallet with performance spend, I can actually look up what the interest would be for you. I don't have that like right here, right now, but I can definitely get that for you. But just know that it's a premier money market savings. So you're going to be earning dollars on your money instead of cents.
Because of debt, I know some of our guys are in debt. Is it ever wise to file for bankruptcy?
Oh, so when we think about bankruptcy, I mean, I don't want to say yes and no because everybody, it just really depends on you. What I can say, Ali, is that if bankruptcy is in your mind, that's definitely something that I can talk to you one-on-one because then we can sit down and think about what's going to be best. If planning a budget, as I mentioned earlier, would be better for you to pay down your debt, then that could definitely be a great tool. But, if it's so much debt and you're just want to wipe it away, I mean, that's definitely something that we can talk about one-on-one. Okay.
Is it best to identify a specific financial consultant to deal with the one-on-one basis, like this is my financial consultant, like I
Of
said?
course, that's who I am.
Okay.
I am a financial consultant. I'm a financial sales consultant. This is what I do. So yes, and that's why I was definitely, urging everyone, when it comes to your finances and when it comes to, those goals, you definitely need a financial sales consultant to really talk because, sometimes we might be a little intimidated, right? Your debt is debt, your goals are your goals. This is your finances, and we want to just put you in the best seat ever, right? We wanted to see you strive and we want to see you achieve those goals. So, yes, definitely call me. I can meet in person at Starbucks. I can meet at a branch near you guys. It's all about just contacting me. This is what I do.
Is it ever good? I mean, does a financial consultant help create a budget for a particular person?
Yes, we
Okay.
can sit down and create a budget.
Is it wise to have bills automatically drawn from your monthly account?
I'm going to say this because I am one of those who have my bills taken out every month. Remember, I stated earlier, with your employee account, you have 3 accounts.
Mhm.
So when you think about paying your bills and paying your bills on time, that's important because, when you're thinking about lenders who's going to lend you a house or lend you a credit card or a car loan, those are things that they look at. Does this person pay their bills? Does this person pay their bills on time? So for me, that was important because I knew that, hey, I'm going to be purchasing a house soon. I already know that they're going to look at those type of things. That's why I have all of my bills coming out of my reserve account. And then all I got to do, Ali, is go in online banking and choose the day. So let's just say, well, I pay the bills on time. So when I get those statements in the mail and I know that comment is due on the 30th, I'm going to make sure I have it set up for it to come out on the 30th. I want to make sure I have money in that account. So that's what that reserve account is for. It's definitely for you to be able to, if you need to manage your bills. It helps me every month. I'm telling you, I don't like to pay a lot of bills anyway, but I want to make sure that I keep my bills current and up to date. So definitely use that account if you need to pay your bills. I do. But yes, definitely have those bills coming out of your account every month on time. That is important. That's what puts us on the top.
And what's your advice? Would you advise someone to get either or a banking or savings, or would you advise them to get both?
I advise them to get both because how are you going to have an emergency fund? Last year, I live in the city, but I do travel 4 days a week to Naperville. And last year, I was traveling to Naperville. I heard something rumbling. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, oh my God, I'm driving to Malibu. It's a little older, but I keep my maintenance up to date all the time, right? So I'm like, what is that noise? And I'm driving, I'm calling my husband, like, hey, can you hear this? And he's like, no, I don't hear anything. I'm like, it's scaring me. So what I did was I pulled off. I was in Naperville. I pulled off on the next exit, pulled over to a tire shop because I knew it was something with the tire, but just didn't know what it was. It was my lug nuts. They broke off. And if you ever had that situation, if I would have kept driving, Ali, I would have lost a tire. I probably would have killed myself and a couple of people on the expressway. But let me tell you, I was able to get my tire fixed right then and there because I had money in my savings account. And I have money for emergencies because you just never know. There's always unexpected emergencies. You got, medical bills, right? You might, like me, I have an older car. So I definitely have to make sure I have something, if anything goes wrong in my car.
Mhm.
Having both is definitely going to be beneficial. Definitely. I would tell this to anybody. Definitely have a savings account. And with this employee account, that's what you get. You get a checking account, you get a second checking account, and you get a savings account.
But does credit have anything to do with the ability to get an account?
No, we don't do credit checks.
Mhm.
Definitely not. Now, I will say this, Ali, we do go through a third party called early warning service. So, once we open that employee account or once we start the application, if an event toward the end you don't get the account, it's definitely not a credit check. There's no hard hit on your credit. But if you don't get an account, it's because we probably had some type of hiccup with a bank in the past. But I will say this, do not let that stop you from getting an employee account, because I've had people who've had hiccups in the past with different banks, but they were still open. They were still able to open their employee accounts. So don't let that deter you. If you don't know, how are you going to know? And then if you can't open up an employee account, we do have alternatives. We have a foundation checking, which is a second chance checking. You have to take a little financial test. It's about 20 questions, real simple. And then we also have something called a smart access. That smart access is a prepaid debit card. That prepaid debit card is similar to a net spend that you would get at a currency exchange. The difference between a net spend and a smart access is that you do get an account number, you do get a routing number, and you do have direct deposit. Now, when I was working in the branches, I did have a lot of customers that, they weren't able to get an employee account, but they got the smart access. Getting a smart access is already establishing a relationship with PNC, right? So you establish a relationship with PNC. I always call my smart access customers 6 months down the line, and we're able to open an employee account. So that's something to think of. But don't let that deter you from, doing great and getting yourself on path, right?
Listen,
Any questions? Any more questions?
I appreciate, I had that was a rapid fire type of, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you, Robin and Tyree, for coming through and sharing
Mm-hmm.
the knowledge with our guys. I do want to let the guys know once every month, we're going to
Okay.
have a financial literacy conversation, because it's important to make sure we
Mm-hmm.
understand how money works and how we can make money work for us. That's just a
Right.
part. And I don't think often we've had
Mm-hmm.
those conversations. But I do appreciate you, Robin and Tyree, for coming through and dropping those jewels on us. And hopefully we can have a long-lasting relationship dealing with PNC.
Well, Ali, thank you for all that. If you would let me interject for 1 second. I appreciate all of your questions today. Robin has an extensive background in banking, so do I. So I am knowledgeable on multiple topics, but then there are some that require specific licensing. So the Bitcoin and things like that, we would love to educate you on that, but we would bring in a product knowledge specialist so that we could be sure that we're doing and saying everything appropriately. So great questions. If there's ever a time that you want us to bring that person in, just let us know and we will bring that person in to educate everyone.
Oh, yeah, that has to be one of our conversations. We have a lot of guys that's on the call that's been dealing with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all. They've been teaching me about it. So
Excellent.
it'd be good to bring an expert in so they can really talk to them and see what they, see how they can grow from it or not, or figure out what's the benefit.
Absolutely. We would love to do that. Okay.
All right. And before we go, Ali, Jaden Starks, if you are on the line, I need you to email me your number. I'm looking at the emails that I've received so far, just making sure that everybody has their number. So Jaden, if you are there, I just need you to send over your phone number. And let's see. Yep, everybody else has included their numbers. So you will be hearing from me. I'm going to be sending these links out, and I'm going to walk you through on opening that employee account today. And if anybody else wants to email me, as Tyree said, we have partners that can go over those investments questions. I have a partner that can go over your mortgages if you're interested in a mortgage. And then I can also walk you through on how to open your credit card too as well. So I'm definitely here, and we appreciate, everyone. It's a pleasure for us to be here. Ali, I know you said this is something that we're looking to do every month, so this is absolutely great. I feel like the more you know, if you know more, you can do more, right? So definitely use this as a resource, even if it's not an employee account. It could be something else. It could be what you said earlier, Ali, establishing a budget, trying to see if this is better than doing the other stuff where, might not be as good, but we're definitely here for your financial needs, and we're here to take care of our employees. We know that you guys go to work and y'all work hard. So definitely want to make sure that we take care of each and every one of you. And we love what we do. This has been our career, right? Tyree's been in it. I've been in it. This is just what we do, and we're passionate about it. This is what we love to do, and we love people. So, and we love
And we
sharing.
love sharing knowledge. We love sharing knowledge.
Yes.
All right, guys, thank you. Sherry.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week for our next CREDTALKS conversation. Thank you, Tyree. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
All right,
all.
thank you.
Have
Have a
an
great evening.
awesome week, everyone.
Bye-bye.